Okay na.
Nag-start ka ng record.
Oo, nagre-record na.
So, hello everyone, good day everyone, and I hope you're doing fine and great today. So, today, class, we're going to talk about the physical characteristic of adolescents. So, we all know that humans undergo different changes in their bodies, such as physical, cognitive, and in their manner. So, in this, uh, in our topic for today, we will talk about the physical growth um, that is visible in the eye of a human. So, but first, what do you mean about adolescent, Miss Elijah? What is adolescent?
Adolescence is a transitional phase of growth and development between childhood and adulthood.
Okay, very good. So, adolescent is a transitional phase of growth and development between childhood and adulthood rather. So, it means that adolescence is a stage or um, adolescence is the stage or a period of time wherein um, a human undergo series of growth and development that bridge through childhood and adulthood. So the World Health Organization defines an adolescent as any person between ages 10 and 15. So this age range falls within WHO's definition of young people, which refers to individuals between ages 10 and 24. So during this adolescent period, we have this what we call puberty. So what do you think puberty means? Next slide, please. So, what is puberty?
Puberty, it causes physical changes and affects boys and girls differently.
So, okay, very good. So, puberty is the time in life when a boy or girls becomes sexually mature. So, it is a process that usually happens between ages 10 and 14 for girls and ages 12 and 16 for boys. So, it causes, as you have mentioned, it causes physical changes and affects boys and girls differently. So, during this puberty, we have in the adolescent, we have this body growth. So during the puberty stage, we have next slide. Next. So we have this body growth. And in this body growth, under this body growth, we have the growth spurt. So growth spurt is um, a changes or a rapid gain in their height and weight during the adolescence. So for girls, they begins to gain their height and weight after 10 years old. So basically, they started at ages of 11. So in 1 year, they gain 3.5 inches and 20 pounds. On this growth and development of them ends at the age of 16 of or their growth size complete by 16. So on the other hand, boys begins at the age of 12. They gain 4 inches and 26 pounds in 1 year, while growing at peak and their growth size complete at the age of 16. So basically, boys will have a growth spurt. They get taller and their chest and shoulders will get broader. Some parts of their body, like head, face, and hands, might grow faster than his limbs and torso. So this might leave him looking out of proportion for a while. On, on average, boys grow 10 to 30 centimeter. So as we can see, girls mature earlier than boys. So study shows that girls mature 2 years earlier than boys. So okay. Next one is the sexual maturation. So we have two types of sexual maturation. So first is the primary sexual characteristic and secondary sexual characteristic. Wherein primary sexual characteristics talks about the reproductive organs such as the um, ovaries, uterus, vagina, uh, penis, and scrotum, and also the testes of a boy. So, and in secondary sexual characteristic are noticeable on the outside of the body, such as the breast development, body facial hair, and voice tone. So, first, we have primary sexual characteristic. So, primary sexual characteristics, around 12 to 14 years old, about 2 years after the breast development start, girls will get a clear or whitish discharge from her vagina for several months before her period starts. Um, before her period starts. So after that period, um, will start or the first menstruation or menarche occur. So periods start when the lining of the uterus or the womb, including blood, is shed every month, and usually girls might get pain during this situation. And while for boys at the age of um, 10, 11 to 13 years old, the external genitals or the penis, testes, and scrotum will start to grow. It is normal for one testis to grow faster than the other. So you can assure that men's testes usually are not the same size. So the one is um, bigger than the other one. So, but not a little bit lang naman. Um, Boys start to produce testosterone, which stimulate the testis to produce sperm at the age of around 13 to 15. So also boys will start getting erection and ejaculating, so or releasing sperm. During this period, erection often happen for no reason at all. Just let them know that this is normal and people don't usually um, notice. Ejaculation during sleep is often called wet dreams. So also in this stage, for first ejaculation or sperma occur. So yon. So next one, we have the secondary sexual characteristic or um, the parts of the body that is noticeable outside of the body. So first, we have the breast development. So breast development in girls start to develop their breasts at the age of 10 to 11 years. So this is the visible sign that puberty is starting. So it is normal for the left and right breast to grow at different speed. So it is also common for the breast to bit tender as they develop. So also, on the other hand, for boys, it is common to have minor breast development. If you are worried through this development, I want to let you know that it is normal and usually goes away by itself. So if it doesn't go away, or if your son's breast seem to be growing, you could speak an expert to talk with them um this problem for them to um, cure and para magamot nila yung nangyayari sa isang lalaki um, with the development of their breast, with the development of their breast. So next one is we have the body and facial hair. So around 13 to 15 years old, boys' hair will start growing on other parts of their body, under his arms, on his face, and on the rest of his body. So his leg and arm hair will thicken, or some young men will grow more body hair into their early 20s. So also, around 11 to 13 years, pubic hair will start to grow. It will get darker and thicker over time. So yes, as we all know that we undergo these kind of changes in our body na maloloka tayo kasi it is not usually na nangyayari sa mga bata. So during this time, parang nagtataka tayo bakit gano'n yung nangyayari sa ako natin. But don't worry because it is normal to have series of changes in our body growth because we all know that human undergo different changes in their um, physical aspect. So also, on the other hand, girls' pubic hair start to grow at the age of 10 to 11 and will get darker and thicker over time. So also, hair will start growing under their arms at the age of 12 to 14. And lastly, we have the voice tone. So if you are going through puberty, both boys and girls experience voice changes as they grow older. But girls' voices get only a little deeper. So a boy's voice, on the other hand, may change quite a bit from sounding like a little kid to sounding like somebody's dad. So for example, like this, hi Papa. Tapos um through the development of their voice, pag through this adolescent period, magiging Papa, Papa. So parang ganon. So this was the result and these changes in for the boys at the of 14 to 15 because of the um the the voice larynx will get larger and his voice will break, eventually becoming deeper. So for boys at the age of 14 to 15, the larynx at or the Adam's apple or voice box will become more obvious. So that is the reason behind why uh, boys have a deeper voice than girls. So now let's move on to the other physical changes in the body of a human. So first, we have the brain. So brain I, changes in the teenage brain affect your child's behavior and social skill. So your child will begin to develop improved self-control and skills in planning, problem solving, and decision making. This process will continue into your child's mid 20s. So basically, the physical changes in the brain of a an adolescent, it may cause the development of and improvement of their self-control and skills in planning. So later on, Elijah um, will talk about the cognitive characteristic of a adolescent. So and he will talk about this one. And next one, we have the bones, organs, and body system. So dito naman, many of our child organs will get bigger and stronger. So by this time, in the adolescent period, the bones and the muscles of the human can get larger because of the um, development and on their body during the puberty stage. So next one, we have the physical strength. So physical strength, it is visible that muscles increase in strength and size during this period, and your child's hand-eye coordination will get better over time, along with a motor skill like ball catching and throwing. So by this time, there is a changes between a in the physical strength. So your child will become more attentive than before. So next one, we have the sweat. So in sweat, uh, a new type of sweat gland in the armpit and genital area develop during the puberty. So these these sweat glands in the armpit and genital area um, can that develops during puberty. Um, the skin bacteria feed on the sweat this gland produce. So yon they will produce they produce um a sweat that is not pleasable on the to smell. So in this uh in this in this period, we need um um to be conscious sa nangyayari sa ating katawan. So this body odor, this sweat can lead to body odor. So in this stage, hygiene is very important for us to be mabango. So next one, we have skin and hair, I think. So skin and hair, so as I mentioned a while ago, pubic hair, facial hairs, magda-develop na yon sa katawan natin at magsisilabasan na lang sila. So, glands in the skin, on the face, shoulders, and back start become more active during puberty. So, eto na yung mga nagre-result nagpo-produce ng more oil. So, this can lead to skin condition like acne. So, if you're concerned about your child's skin, first, check whether the pimples or acne are worrying your child too. So if they are considered speaking with your genital professional. So children might find their hair gets oilier and they need to wash it more. This is normal. So so wag na tayong manibago if we have developed or kung magkakaroon tayo ng skin condition like acne. So, because during the adolescent period, it is normal and normal na magkaroon tayo ng sweat because we undergo different physical development in our body. So, parang it is a counterpart a of the development in our body. So, next one, and lastly, we have the teeth. So children will get their second molars at around 13 years, and third molars or the wisdom teeth might appear between 14 and 25 years. So these teeth can appear in singles, pairs, as a full set of four wisdom teeth or not at all. So normal lang na hindi tayo magkakaroon ng um, hindi magkakaroon ng wisdom tooth pala. Wisdom tooth ang isang tao because of the changes. So also we need to ensure that our teeth is healthy and our gums. Um, and so we need to consult our um, dental, to consult our dentist, to look for the if our gums and teeth are healthy. So we as a future educator, so that's it. So we as a future educator, we must consider, we need to consider it, be considerate in this, um, in this period, because on our students in this period, because they need attention, and we need to inculcate in their mind that it is normal, to have this series of development in their body. So we as a language teacher, future language teacher, we need um, to bridge the gap and through the childhood and adulthood. So using the literature that we need um, to inculcate in their mind that um, this physical growth in their body, such as in the development of body growth, sexual maturation, and the other, and many more. So, as a language teacher, future language teacher, through various literature that we will use in the near future, let's use a literature in which it will open their minds about this development in their bodies. So also, it is important to remember that these changes will happen differently for each teen. So some teens may have these signs of maturity sooner or later than. So each child goes through puberty at their own space. So that's it. That's all for today. So I hope that you acquire knowledge from me, and have a great day, everyone.
Okay, so now, can you hear me, Mr. Dileg?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Mika Elijah P. Fabicon, and now we will be going to talk about the characteristics of adolescence cognitively. So first, let us define what cognitive development means. Mr. Dileg.
So cognitive development means how children or think, explore, and figure things out.
Okay, so as we observe, cognitive development is not as visible as physical development because, as Mr. Dialect have discussed earlier, physical development is seen by our naked eyes, the growth of our body and its maturation. And on the other hand, cognitive development is not seen by our naked eyes, and it has something to do with our brains and our intellectual capability, how we see things, how we reason, and how we think. So, in here, we will be going to discuss how adolescents mature in terms of thinking and viewing things. Number one, during the adolescent stage, higher levels of cognitive functioning develops. So, A, do abstract thinking. Unlike children, adolescents think about the possibilities already. Like in reading stories and literature, they often think what will happen next or what is what if the protagonist die. They already conclude what will happen next or the possibilities in that certain context. Okay? Next, reason from known principles. So they start to form questions and ideas. They don't just stick to what ideas are offered to them. Instead, they create their own ideas based on what they read. And also they assess the situation based on what they read. Is letter C. Consider many point of views. So we understand it in a way that adolescence as a child, whenever our parents tell us stories, we understand it in a way our parents want us to understand. We don't seek other explanation or opinions about it. We just stick to what they taught us or what they tell us. And as we grow up, we develop our cognitive skills. That's why we look for other opinions and explanations. We tend to look at the different sides of a certain context, and we don't just stick on one side, but we explore two different point of views. Number two, moral and ethical choices are now possible. So in adolescent stage, moral and ethical choices are now possible. They can choose what is right and wrong, what is bad, and what is good. Mr. Dialect, hindi ka nakamute. What is good and what is bad. And sometimes it reflects on their behavior. Here is an example of a situation wherein the teenager is given a choice to choose what he or she will do. Mr. Dialect, can you please read the scenario?
So some of your friends have started using bad language because it makes them feel cool. Each day you hear words you know your parents don't like. Your friends even use the names of God and Jesus as if they were just bad words. And they call you a baby because you won't talk like them. What will you do?
Okay, so Mr. Dialect, what will you do?
So I think I will go aalis ako ay hindi na ako sasama sa kanila or hindi naman sa kwan sabi nga hindi mo kailangan to please them. Hindi mo kailangan na maging isa ka sa kanila para hindi mo kailangan gawin yung mga ginagawa nila para maging kasama kanila. So, they need to accept who you are and what you are. Kung kung ayaw mong gawin yung mga pinapagawa nila, so be it. 'Yon. Huwag mong gayahin yung ginagawa nila. Leave the values na alam mong mali kasi you as a person, you know what is good and bad and what is right from wrong. Yon.
Okay, what a very good answer. So, whatever you choose, it reflects on your behavior since you already know the morals and ethics of our society. Okay? Do you get it, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, moving on to our third, cognitive ability is often affected by overall socialization. So as a teenager, we are surrounded by many people that influences us, like our friends, our parents, our family, and other acquaintances. So why do we say that overall socialization affects our cognitive ability? So simply because our thoughts are somewhat affected by the people we talk to and we deal with. That's why they often say that we should be friends with intelligent people for us to become intelligent too, right? And also, there is a saying that tell your friends, tell me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. Okay, so it really affects our way of thinking and how we act, and also our perspective in life. And our fourth characteristic, language and overall verbalization skills increase. So in adolescent stage, our understanding and thinking is far more higher when than when we were a child. We learn how to analyze things, solve problems, interpret, and also our skills in communication increases and our planning. And since our brain develops, there are a lot of things that we can do as a teenager than when we were a child. And relating to literature, adolescents can pick or choose what satisfies their interest and preference because they already know what they like, what they preferred, and what they stand. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for listening.